Save Martha. You're letting him kill Martha. Why you say that name? Why you say that name? Huh? Why you say that name? Huh. Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing a review on Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. So, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice is the second installment in the DC Extended Universe, or as we like to call it, the DCEU, and is directed by Zack Snyder and came out in the year 2016. And it stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Jesse Eisenberg, Gal Gadot, Diane Lane, Jeremy Irons, Holly Hunter, Lawrence Fishburne, etc. And so basically, the plot for this movie, it tells a story taking place right after the events of sorry about the background noise, but I'm recording this outside, by the way. So, anyways, the story takes place right after the events of Man of Steel, during the attack on Metropolis, where pretty much it turns out Bruce Wayne was actually there in the Metropolis attack, trying to save people, like from all the destruction and stuff. But seeing Superman in action, he believes that Superman is the one destroying Metropolis, and so now he sees. He sees Superman as a threat, and so basically he starts to form this whole vendetta against Superman, and so and he's not the only one, as the world also pretty much grapples with Superman's actions, and they all debate if Superman is a true hero or not after causing all this destruction. And Batman pretty much just wants Superman gone, and so and so this whole thing results in Batman facing off against Superman. But the center of all this conflict is this evil mad scientist, evil mad CEO guy named Lex Luthor, who pretty much also wants Superman gone. And he also wants to show that man can defeat God. The man can defeat gods. That's basic a plot. Kind of complicated, but that's the best I can say. Now I remember all the hype that this was getting back then. I remember all the hype this got back at the time. Yeah, this was considered to be one of the most anticipated movies of all time. Yeah, people were hyped as hell for this film. And some people even went as far as calling this their most anticipated movie of 2016. Well, to me personally, my most anticipated movie of 2016 was Captain America, Civil War, but this was definitely one of them. But 2016 was pretty much the year of superheroes duking out each other, because we got this and Captain America: Civil War. Both movies were they all duke it, where the heroes, or two of them, the biggest heroes of their company, duke it out together. And I was very hyped for this one too, because I just wanted, because it's a superhero movie. I mean, it's not. I didn't get. It wasn't because I was too excited to see Batman and Superman fight, which is why people were hyped for it. But it's because it's because it's a superhero movie, I guess. And I did see Man of Steel theaters, so I was a superhero fanboy back then. So any superhero movie, I'd watch it. So and then unfortunately, when the movie came out, the movie got panned massively by critics. Everyone was disappointed with this film. It did not turn out the way they wanted it to. Wanted it to. And also, before I move on, I was supposed to mention this early on after summarizing, but I'll do it now. So if you guys aren't aware, I am doing my DCEU marathon leading up to Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, because Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is the final installment in the DCU. Yeah, that is where the DCU comes to an end. So, yeah, I gotta so yeah, I gotta review all of them. I'm not gonna redo my I don't know if I'll be able to redo my DCU ranking because I already did when Black Adam came out. I still want to do this because I've reviewed a few. I already reviewed some DCU movies before. I reviewed Man of Steel. I reviewed both Shazam movies, and pretty much from Black Adam, all the DCU movies from Black Adam to Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Black Adam, Shazam 2, and all that stuff. Yeah, those are the ones I reviewed. So the DCU reviews I will review leading up to Aquaman Lost Kingdom are this movie which I'm doing right now, which is BVS, Suicide Squad 2016, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 1984, and the Suicide Squad, and Aquaman will be last. Yeah, Aquaman will be the last one because since this is all leading up to a sequel to Aquaman, it would just make a lot more sense to put Aquaman as the last DC review. So yeah. Anyways, when it comes to my thoughts on Batman vs Superman, it often flip flops. Yeah, my feelings of this movie always rapidly changes. When I first watched it in theaters, I liked it, and then but I wasn't really a quote unquote critic back then, if you could call it that. I was already a film buff at the time though, but I just wasn't really a full critic because the way I judge movies, yeah. And yeah, I started becoming a critic. I started becoming a critic in like 2018, 2019, like that. I guess. So of course, considering I wasn't a critic at the time, I was too easy to please. And then my critic mind, and then when I became a critic, I started to realize that this movie sucks. That this movie sucked ass, and it was pretty bad. And then when I rewatched it again, I actually like it. I was like, okay, this is not bad, but yeah. And yeah, so, and by the way, just to let you know, this is the Ultimate Edition I am reviewing. Yep, the extended cut, because this is what I was watching, because this is the only one available. Like when I played this movie, this is the one that was available, yeah, not the theatrical cut. And I am aware that the Ultimate Edition actually has a huge fan base. They're all saying that this is what Batman vs Superman is what should have been. This is what the movie should have been. And I totally get it. I totally get it if you think that this is what Batman vs Superman should have been. Should have been, yeah. But yeah. So, anyways, now that I've rewatched it and fully came with probably an open mind, what I think of it now, I think it's a guilty pleasure. Honestly, yeah. This movie is a guilty pleasure. It's not a great movie, and yes, it does not live up to the hype, but it is pretty good. It is pretty good, and I definitely find some appreciation for it. So yeah, anyways, let's get to all the reasons why. So yeah, first let's get to the good things about this movie, the things I really liked about this movie. So yeah, this does fix a lot of problems that the theatrical had, by only a tiny bit. Now, if you're wondering my thoughts on the theatrical cut of it, it was pretty okay. Yes, it was. Yes, there are some flaws with it. There are some things there were some missing pieces to it, but at the end, it did. Yeah, at the end, it did. It was ended up being okay, I guess. At least it was pretty fun. For the most part. For the most part, yeah. I always enjoy this movie. It can get boring at times, but when it comes to the fun scenes, they are actually pretty fun for the most part. So yeah, for the most part, yeah. One thing that this movie does better than the theatrical cut, one thing that this Ultimate Edition fixes is Superman's character. I feel like the theatrical cut kind of underestimated Superman's character, underestimated Superman's character. And yeah, yeah. I mean, Superman. I mean, Batman overshadows Superman way too much, and Superman got lesser character development than he should have. But but this one, it actually felt more clear. It felt more cohesive. Like you could actually feel that they actually did try to give Superman something in this one. In this one, so yeah, that's one thing they fixed. And yeah, while some of the additional scenes are unnecessary, I mean they did kind of help a bit with Superman. The action and music and score are definitely the best part of the movie, without a doubt. Any action scene in this movie, all the action scenes in this movie are flawless. Okay, yeah, maybe the Batman versus Superman fight could have felt more epic in scale, honestly, in my opinion. Yes, yes, it could have felt more epic and more grand in scale, but could have felt more like, especially when this was the hyped up fight that we've all been waiting for. Yes, it was too short. It was enjoyable, but it doesn't stick the landing all that well. And yeah, but I think that the fight itself on its own, if you don't try to think about the hype for it, is still pretty damn good. And yeah, and then there's you got some great action scenes as well, like the opening action scene in Metropolis with Bruce Wayne trying to face against the destruction. We also got that Batmobile chase scene where we see like Superman come in and stop the Batmobile, and then Batman's like, "Tell me, do you bleed? You will." Yeah. And then we also got the infamous warehouse scene where we see Batman like desperately killing people, like desperately, yeah, brutally murdering people. Yeah, that warehouse scene is probably that warehouse scene is probably one of the most violent PG-13 moments in a PG-13 movie I have ever seen. And my personal favorite of the action scenes, the final battle with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman versus Doomsday. Yeah, that scene. Yeah, I love that scene. Now, I get why people complain about Doomsday being unnecessary. I would agree that Doomsday did not need to be in this movie, but Doomsday did kind of at least Doomsday gave us that epic fight. Yeah, I love that fight scene at the end. I think it absolutely packed a punch for me. A punch for me. Yeah, I don't get the hate for the final battle at all. Yeah, Doomsday CGI was pretty bad. You can argue about that all you want, but yeah, it doesn't change the fact that action scene is still epic as hell. Yeah, especially that scene, which I would consider the best scene of the entire film in general. Basically, where where Batman like pretty much crashes his Batmobile, and where Batman's Batmobile crashes, and then Doomsday just falls in the building, and Batman's like, oh shit. And then Doomsday literally unleashes his power. His power is about to kill Batman. Wonder Woman steps in and saves Batman. And then we even hear this. With this dun 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 dun, that iconic Wonder Woman theme. Yeah, that scene gives me chills every time I watch this. Yeah, and then we even see like Superman make an entrance and then just blow Doomsday up. Blow up. Well, not really, but yeah, I remember when I saw this movie in the theaters. My audience literally cheered at Wonder Woman's entrance. That one scene, and yeah, and then we see this amazing shot with the Trinity together, just duking out Doomsday, and all that stuff. And yeah, wow, that was just an epic moment right there. Pick a moment right there, and yeah, epic moment right there, and yeah. And I will admit that honestly, this has the best action scenes in the entire DCEU. Yep, my personal favorite. Yes, even over Man of Steel's action scenes, even over the Suicide Squad's action scenes, even over Wonder Woman's action scenes, and yeah, I just love how big in scale the action was. And even like the score from Junkie XL, one of the best scores in the DCU. Whether a great combination of Man of Steel score and Wonder Woman score, and mixing them all together, and even have a bit of its own thing, maybe for Batman's part. Like even hear this music like dun 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 dun. And then in the final battle, you got some great music too, like dun 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 dun. Yeah, amazing action scenes, and yeah, and I will say that the performances of some characters were really great as well. Yeah, there were some great performances with there were some great top notch performances as well. Ben Affleck is a top three Batman. Well, technically top four. Yeah, Ben Affleck is one of the best Batman actors. I think Ben Affleck works so well as Batman, and despite Ben Affleck getting hate for being cast as Batman before it came out, yeah, this is why you should not judge a casting choice. This is why you should not be like, why is this guy playing this guy? He doesn't fit the role. Yeah, because the actor, you'll never know what the actor can do. You'll never know what the actor can actually pull off when it comes to that casting choice. Yeah, sure, he's no Christian Bale. Christian Bale being my favorite Batman, and he's no Robert Pattinson. I think I might honestly prefer him over Michael Keaton. Yeah, so he's my third favorite Batman actor. Yes, hot take right there. I prefer Ben Affleck's Batman over Michael Keaton's Batman. Yeah, honestly. Yeah. And yes, Superman. Henry Cavill's Superman was still great despite being a downgrade from Man of Steel. You also got some great supporting characters like Amy Adams, who was a much better who was better than Man of Steel. And yes, okay, that maybe not really better, but I still like Amy Adams here. And yes, I defend Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I think Amy Adams is the best Lois Lane. Yeah, you can argue about the age gap between Henry Cavill and Amy Adams. I think that's a valid point, but still, I don't get the hate for Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I think it works for me. Another scene that I'd like to mention is the nightmare sequence. Yeah, remember that infamous scene when Batman gets a nightmare about Superman pretty much murdering him. Yeah, that scene is definitely a highlight. That is such a creative scene right there, just showing Bruce Wayne's fear of Superman. Like, he went from feeling angry towards Superman's actions, to that one scene when now he starts to fear Superman, to fear that, oh no, what if Superman does something to me? I think the nightmare sequence is absolutely brilliant, especially to the narrative and to Bruce Wayne's character. But yeah, despite some of my enjoyment I have with the film, and some credits I can give it, this movie still isn't really very good. It's not too good, and it certainly ain't a masterpiece, not even close. Yeah, despite the Ultimate Edition fixes some of the major plot holes of the theatrical cut, it doesn't change the fact that the story is so overall weak. Despite some brilliant ideas in there, and also one thing I mention, I love how the movie tackles themes of just showing your themes of heroism in a political world. The movie dives deep into the political aspect of superheroes, and whether superheroes should be accepted into society or not. That is great, but yeah, but all in all, yeah, but the narrative itself is just a mess. It's just very messy, very incoherent, very confusing. I mean, when I first saw this movie in theaters, despite me liking the movie, I will admit I did not understand the plot. I remember, in the middle of the movie, when me and my dad went to the bathroom for a pee break, I was telling my dad, I don't get the story, and even my dad agrees that we both don't understand what's going on, in the first half. And in the second half, and then later on when I came back from the bathroom, I just decided, you know what, screw it, I'll turn on my brain watching this. I can see why I love kids in the theater, where Oh, so boring. So boring. Yeah, I will admit. Yes. A lot of the parts in the movie did bore me. And there are times when the movie got extremely slow paced, especially in the middle. A lot of the film is basically just setting up Justice League. Yeah, yes. I mean, Wonder Woman was there for Justice League setup, but I still think that Wonder Woman still stood up for the rest and kind of did serve a purpose to the story. And yeah, but then we get this unnecessary scene of Wonder Woman like looking at footages of the members that we're going to be seeing in the team, like Aquaman, Flash, those characters, even Cyborg. Yeah, I mean, I don't get what was the point of them. Like, why did she do that? I didn't get it. Yeah, there's this character in the movie that this version introduced that the theatrical cut didn't, and it was just African lady who pretty much wanted Superman to help her. They tried way too hard to give her a purpose, but honestly, I don't care for her character. She's completely forgettable, unnecessary, serves nothing to the story despite trying way too hard to. I don't even remember her name. Yeah, I don't even remember who her character was. Yeah. No, I actually don't. People complain that she was not in the theatrical cut, and it would have been better if she was there. But to me, it's fine, honestly. But I don't like her. Um, I just don't like her. And yes, despite my praise for the action scenes, yeah, I will admit that the Batman vs Superman fight, despite me like already mentioning about that scene earlier, I do wish it was longer, and I wish it packed the same punch as the airport fight in Captain America Civil War. Civil War, yeah, and let's not forget that infamous scene that scene, that moment there, I consider a so bad it's good moment. Basically, when Batman was about to kill Superman with a kryptonite, yeah, Batman was already winning. Well, he technically won because Superman showed his like major weakness after Batman put him down. But yeah, basically, so Superman's just like before Batman kills Superman's like save Martha, and and then we get the Batman of flashbacks of Martha, flashbacks of Martha in Martha like his of Martha. Sorry for my stuttering, but Batman has flashbacks of his mother named Martha who got killed, and Clark Kent's mother is also named Martha. So yeah, and yeah, and once Superman mentioning Martha's name reminded Batman of reminded Bruce of his mother's death. Batman got so angry. And he's like, "Why you say the name? Why you say the name?" Yeah, yeah, and I will admit, maybe that scene would have been a legit great moment, and would have been an instant classic if not for the fact that Batman and Superman became friends just because their mothers have the same name. Yeah, that is honestly kind of dumb, but that is honestly very dumb, but like it is just very illogical. I mean, and also very lazy as well. Maybe if you took it out that why you say the name moment would have been more impactful, but yeah, that was a dumb fun moment right there. That is soon to be an instant classic, like on the same level as the Room and Sharknado. I mean, lines from the film. I mean, that is basically the "I did not hit her. It's not true." Yeah, that is pretty much the "I did not hit her" line of superhero movies. So of superhero movies, yeah, but that's pretty much what stopped the fight. They become friends, and yeah, that kind of ruined the moment for me. And also another problem I have with the film is that the time that this movie released in. I mean, there should have this feels like a movie that you could have done after setting up these heroes. So, but I mean, I feel like the Batman and Superman fight conflict, the inner political conflict with them isn't very interesting because of how because of how they how do I say this? Because of how this is only Bruce Wayne's first movie, and this is very much kind of the movie where Batman gets introduced into the DCU, but at the same time it's a Batman and Superman fight movie. So we should have gotten a Batman solo movie first before this one. I mean, we got Man of Steel, and then we got the Batman solo film, the Ben Affleck solo film, which is a shame we never got because Ben Affleck was supposed to direct his Batman movie, his Batfleck movie, but sadly that one got cancelled. And also they also introduced Wonder Woman here too, despite before her solo film. What I could have done is just release a Batman and Wonder Woman movie before this one. This one, yeah, this goes to show that the DCU did not have a plan at all. Yeah, even though the movie technically was supposed to and it took 3 years for a new movie the DCU after Man of Steel, which I kind of feel like that Man of Steel was supposed to be just one single film, but then they turned it to an entire cinematic universe because of how successful Man of Steel was. And yeah, but the worst thing about this entire movie, the thing that pissed me off the most is Lex Luthor. Honestly, I'm gonna say it. The DCU's Lex Luthor is the worst comic book villain I have ever seen. Period. Saying he is the worst DCU villain is an understatement. Like, where do I even get started from here? First of all, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is probably the worst casting choice I have ever seen. Like, the most unfitting casting choice. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg is not Lex Luthor. I mean, he doesn't even act like Lex Luthor. He acts more like the Riddler. Like that is not Lex Luthor right there. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg, you're a fantastic actor. I mean, you were in The Social Network and a few other great movies, and then you're in this one. Yeah, I hate everything about Lex Luthor. Every single thing about him. His acting is cringe. His dialogue is cringe. Everything about him is cringe. He's annoying. His plan is really dumb. When basically his plan to just he basically his plan to like be behind the whole Batman Superman conflict this whole time. Ooh, plot twist. I mean, could you really call that a plot twist? And his belief that man can kill God. He is really dumb. And the worst scene in the film to me, the worst scene in the entire film is in the end of the film when in the end of the film when Batman interrogates Lex while Lex was in prison. Yeah, basically yeah, that scene was very unsettling in all the wrong ways. Yeah, sure, maybe Batman like legit like interrogating Lex Luthor was cool, I guess. And I love how gritty Batman got in that scene. Yeah, especially Ben Affleck's performance. But it got ruined by cringe-worthy music and Lex Luthor and Jesse Eisenberg's performance in that scene. Yeah, basically when he's like, oh, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna come for you, Bruce, and then he's like, ding 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 ding. Oh my goodness! I literally no joke. Whenever he does that I literally fast forward because I don't want to see that. Oh yeah, and also Superman's death had zero impact at all because we all knew he was gonna be alive anyway. I mean, he's Superman; he can't die. I will admit it did leave kind of have an impact when I first saw it in theaters, but now it's just like, yeah, who cares? He's gonna live anyways. So yeah, so overall, well, Batman versus Superman is definitely a film to appreciate for the kind of for the ideas as well as some very enjoyable guilty pleasure moments, especially with the action scene, the action scenes. It also has some great performance from Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Gal Gadot, Diane Lane. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Holly Hunter too. and some truly shocking, unpredictable moments, like that scene when the White House blew up during a press conference, and yeah, Batman vs Superman is not a great film. It doesn't live up to the hype as a Batman vs Superman movie. I appreciate the fact that they went for more of an inner conflict movie than an outside conflict. I mean, it still didn't help that this movie was released far too soon, and and also the script, the execution of the story is pretty bad. It is pretty bad, yeah. It's not an I wouldn't say it's an underrated film, but it is a film that I personally enjoy, and it's a guilty pleasure. So with that said, I'm going to give Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice a 3.5 stars out of 5. Good movie. So as well for my review of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. What are your thoughts on the movie? Do you hate the movie as what the popular consensus says? Do you love the movie and consider it as a misunderstood masterpiece, like some internet YouTube slash Letterboxd critics I've been reading? Or are you with me that this is rather a pretty decent, fun movie that isn't very well made? This is a movie that you can just sit back and relax and enjoy your brain. And turn off your brain. So yeah, comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my rant on Suicide Squad 2016. So yeah, bye guys.